We here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mic checking. One, two, three. Know what I'm saying? Let me bust a freestyle for y'all. Let me hit the beat on. Yeah, man. We back. So I'm actually if you look at one of my previous videos, I said I was gonna actually do some shoes. Get back into my creative side. So I'm actually drawing some shoes. I'm drawing the design now. So, I'm researching what I'm going to put on the shoe. Then I'm actually sketching the shoe out. And the poverty mindset is going to be one shoe, and generational wealth is going to be the other shoe. And so, me doing the poverty mindset shoe, man, it just like it reminded me of this old rap song I used to listen to. I forgot the name of the artist, but he was like, I look like money, smell like money. So basically, coming from the look aspect, that he looks like money because of the clothes he got on, jewelry and all that. The smell like money comes from the smell, smell good. You put on the cologne and stuff like that. And so I'm like, dang, it gets us to a point to where we looking like money, trying to sexy red. What's going on? Looking like money, smelling like money. It's all the act of money. And I was looking up all these designers, uh, from Louis to Gucci, Hermes, watches, Patek Philippe, and just all these different watch companies. You know, and jury makers. Like, I was looking like there's a lot of big name jury companies up in New York. Like that's where a lot of the main jury companies that a lot of people go to is up in New York. Um, Even with who was that? I think down here in Atlanta we got Ice. What's it? Not Ice Out. Whatever it is. Icebox. Yeah, that's what it is. Icebox down there off Piedmont Buckhead area with and I'm like, man, it's crazy how I was just sitting there looking at all these jewelry companies and the pieces that they make, and it was funny to me that what's his name, Johnny Dane didn't even make the list. The one down in Texas that make all those chains and stuff for people. Like he didn't even make the list. But I was looking at his jewelry. I'm like, he like one of the cheapest ones in the industry. I'm like, compared to all these other artists and what they spent on their pieces, I was like, he one of the cheapest in the industry. He started in the flea market and he started doing gold teeth, and he actually went into the dentist to become a dentist from doing gold teeth and putting diamonds all in them and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like poverty mindset, man. We showing off like nice cars, Mercedes, Benzes. 50 was talking about French Montana had a Bugatti, but he had a '07 Bugatti. He paid $700,000. And 50 was right. He was like, man, they was like, we just happy that we were able to sell this Bugatti to some sucker to buy it. Even with I think he was saying like he was basically like one of the first up in New York with a Bugatti. I guess rapper type, because I know most of the people up there with money, they probably got a Bugatti, but why would you even want a Bugatti in New York? No, I mean that's even like some cars. Why would you want them up there anyway? But the crazy part I'm looking at, I'm just laughing because I'm like, man, the mindset. That's why we broke. We ain't got nothing because it's like we putting on this show for people, that look like this and look like that. Man, like grandma always used to say, you ain't got a pot to piss in and a one to throw it out of, but you act like you're something. And I'm like, man, that's just crazy, you know. And like I said, just doing the shoe, I'm steady looking at all the stuff, like the stuff I had, you know, Gucci stuff, just like not really much Louis because I didn't really deal with Louis like that, but just Gucci and just like Burberry stuff like that I used to get Movado watches, you know what I'm saying, and the little bling. Hell, I had like what? I think I had like three gold teeth. I had like some bottoms. I had tops. I think I had six at the bottom, six at the top, and I had like two sets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had two, not three. But yeah, when it came down to it, it's just like I thought that's how I'm supposed to, do because in my neighborhood, I'm from, everybody had gold teeth. Everybody wore, gold and iced out watches. So we all look at the people we actually had a know, real and I got on crazy stuff. I ain't gonna tell you because I ain't trying to incriminate myself, but basically I got it on some crazy stuff. But it was a real iced out Rolex, and the thing crazy, it was stolen from. I even know the dude who stole it, but I never really, kind of pursued him because I'm like, man, it's just karma. And my whole thing was I ain't want to get caught with that thing, because they if I got into some situation where I got locked up and they pulled that serial number off that Rolex, I'd have been in trouble. So I was mad at it, but I wasn't really studying it too much, when it came down to it. But I mean, yeah, I actually had a real Rolex. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was in high school. I bought that thing when I was in high school. So that can tell you, I had a little money. It wasn't no, it was a real Rolex. The only thing, the reason why the dude sold it to me for such a deal was because, like I said, the situation that happened and he just had to get it off. But, oh man, Jessica, where you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? Pretty Black, how you doing? But, that's what I was saying. Like the mindset, man, like people, we just think that that's what we need. We need these materialistic stuff. And we only doing this for what? To show people that we don't really have money, and that's why I was doing this poverty mindset shoe versus the generational wealth shoe. And I've been researching all that because I always talk about insurance and generational wealth, but I mean just like focusing on business, starting companies to pass down to your kids. Like I always look at Grant Cardone, like the way his mindset on trying to make money and do things. And he was saying that, and I kind of messed my brother up with this yesterday. I was talking to him. What's going on? Dr. Dunbar in the building. What's going on, man? Everybody, hey, if you want some great content like what I'm doing now, Dr. Dunbar is your man, you know. And not only will you need to subscribe to his channel right here, Science and Technology, he has a total of three different channels that mainly focus, everybody that's educated and wants to learn something, you know, stimulate your mind. Even when he does his reviews on the entertainment side, I mean, great channels, all great channels. Even with your sports channel, man, hat goes off to you, Doctor. Grant Cardone was having this thing to where he said that if he had $700,000, he just go. Somebody was saying that they would go and take the 700,000, just go buy a $700,000 house and sit on it, and within about 10, 15 years, he'll be good. And Grant was like, I'm an old man, I'm like, I wouldn't do that. I'd take 400,000 and go buy me some apartments and stuff. And so I laughed and I talked to my brother and I was telling him, I said, if you had 700,000, what would you do with the money? And he was like, oh man, Coke is uh dividends. They're giving, I think he was saying like two and some change on dividends. So he would take that, put it in stock. He would buy this other stock that gave this much dividends. And he was like, I multiply this and that. And I'll be making like almost $8,000 a month and doing that. And man, I take that money, I go put that money after a year, I be done made almost $40,000 back on my money. Crafty Leo, what's going on? So I was laughing and I said, man, I wouldn't do none of that. I told her, I say, what I would do, I would take that 700,000 and I piggyback off a grant. I said, I would take 700,000, get 400, go buy 20 doors in apartments. And I would take those 20 doors in those apartments. I said, I'm gonna be easy. I would take 200,000 out of that seven, four for the apartments to put down to buy and finance. I would take 200,000 and upgrade them. I say now on the low end, I would charge 1,200. I said, let's do the math. 1,200 per door. And I got 20 doors. And he said, okay. He said that's 24. Okay, about 24,000. Then I say, now you take that 24,000 and you multiply that times 12. And he like, dang. He said, boy, down. He said, you damn near on the way to get your money back. I said, exactly. I said, I said, even that 400,000 I put on those apartments, I said those apartments might be worth like, you know what I'm saying, 10 million or something like that. I say, but the longer I keep those apartments, I can always keep going up on the price due to inflation. And I said, I'll probably have those apartments paid off within 5 years or 10 years or so. And then the rest of that money just be straight cash flow into my account. And he's like, man, you got down on that. He said, I would have never thought of that. I said, yeah, I was on this uh was it Women in Linux, and they was talking about that. They were talking about investing in stocks and over time how it would do this, do that. And I'm like, yeah, but you're investing into a gamble. I say, well, with this property, it's a guarantee. Even if we have another, recession type to where everybody's locked out of buying houses or the market's crashing, people still need somewhere to stay. So they're gonna pay for somewhere to stay. Even if I have to drop my prices down to be reasonable for that market at that time, that's the thing. And when it comes down to housing in the general area of expertise, man, it's a win-win. And that's the best I'm doing now. Life insurance and back for 20 years, 15 years with to where when you get ready to retire or get to money, it's started. Um, I was talking with him. He worked for the government. The guy's almost 4 5, and I commend him on it. I was like, man. And he said, well, it's not a competition. I said, why would I want the best for my family? Just like and that's what I'm working on. I'm changing things around. I'm having things that there it goes. From what people not even realizing when it comes down to it, like long term. Everybody's thinking for right now. That creates probably mindset. You know, that YOLO thing was real big, probably like in the early 2000s, that you only live once, and it's to the point where people would just ball out of control and all that. Man, even these rappers, these football athletes, you know, the point they got older, they literally didn't have no, you know, but he had like a family around him. It wasn't supposed to be that bad till when he was homeless on the street. People around you, like that's why I said that poverty mindset, man. But everybody around you that wants to buy out and spend money, you don't continue doing that till you fall. Like one of my friends, spending a lot of money. Basically, I really enjoy money and to put in regret. And so I did kind of spend stupidly on the whole thing was I got some memories and shit behind that. You know, if I would have now, I would have that money. You know, it's more fun. You know, that's what I was saying. It look like money. Like I said, that costs, man. But in the end, you really truly don't have money. And like I always say, even about men and women, we're never given a hand to say this is how a man is supposed to be. Wellness with Frugal Mama. This is not a hand and every good, you don't have to go to the for a lot of people. And so that's like the thing that a lot of people facing and going through now is mindset of trial on this. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you marriage. Mindset like only thing that child support should be is support that child without using you would still have to buy if you still with that hand, you don't need that extra money for support. If you was in that relationship with that money for it because the money is already there. There's no need of an extra money because the money is already there. And so that's the thing, in relations that people never think about. Like, I don't need extra money because the money's here. With my wife, hey, with me coming into the picture, she already had an apartment. She already was taking care of kids, had a car. And when I got with her, it just upgraded things. We got two cars, better cars. We got a house. We got bills. It's, no problems is always a guarantee. But to the extent, you know, having more money sets you in a better bracket and makes you live comfortable. When me and my wife got our house, it's the point where one of us lose our job, still be able to pay the note. But it was up to my wife. We were getting because she wanted a 3 4 modern house, and we're gonna get a decent house that some things can be fixed or changed around. Like we got the carpet, put hardwood down. Like that makes it a little more modern. That hardwood point it is, if we were buying a house with hardwood, extra 50,000 upcharge on the price of the house and countertops. That's like another extra $40,000 to $80,000 in doing the whole kitchen. That's all going to be upcharges right there on the price of our house. Just went up. Just the floors, it just went up 130,000. That's not even to say the least of when we try to do this patio on the back or fix the floor. 150,000 to buy, we're already at 150,000. So, like I'm saying, this poverty mindset, we got to get a hold of it because that's what's for us. So until we start learning more about money and start, being realistically, because we need to pass down something to our kids. I always said I don't want the next generation to be broke. I did it for my kids. You know, I didn't pretty much struggle. It was to an extent. You know, mainly I had to, kind of still learn things. Most of the family didn't learn these things. It was like who was it? The Not the boomers, the Gen X's, I think. The Gen X's was the ones that went to college for the most part. The boomer auntie, I think she went to college, but far as like after her, like the Gen X's, those are the ones that went to college. Then so forth from the millennials and on down. So the people that was coming, raising us and showing us things, most of them didn't go to college. It was all self-taught. They were good at the stuff that they learned. Their education so far. When I stayed with my grandmother, it got to a point to where I was literally smarter than my grandmother on certain things where I had to study and work harder to pass my classes. You know, you got 50-some-year-old woman trying to, help a elementary kid going or a middle school kid with their homework. It doesn't work, and that's the thing. So, when it come down to it, hey, learn all you can learn, try to do things better for your life. And you know what I always say? Till next time, we here and we gone.